Why? Just fucking why? Why? What the fuck? Just when you thought that Vengeance Day was gonna end on a positive note, that bullshit happens. What the fuck? What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Nash here. Welcome back to the channel. I don't know what to say. I'm like completely like flabbergasted right now. This is absolutely insane. I never would have thought the way NXT Vengeance Day ended just now, I never would have imagined that was gonna happen. I never, ever would have ever imagined that was gonna happen. But tonight, I'm gonna be revealing the results of NXT Vengeance Day from tonight. I'll be doing an in-depth review in tomorrow's episode of WWE's Biggest Issue, so get ready for that. But this basically for NXT, Vengeance Day was the premium event that kicked off the road to Stand and Deliver. Obviously, the Royal Rumble kicked off the road to WrestleMania for the main roster. This kicks off the road to NXT Stand and Deliver. And what I find even more intriguing is the fact that we also have as well NXT Roadblock next month. I believe they said March 15th or March 5th or something like that. So it'll be interesting to see how the fallout of Vengeance Day will go straight into Roadblock and then straight into Stand and Deliver. It'll be interesting to say the very least, but we kick off the night with the finals of the Dusty Cup between as they call themselves, the Wolf Dogs of Baron Corbin and Braun Breaker taking on the Trick Mello Gang, Trick Williams, Carmelo Hayes, and honestly, this was back and forth, absolute insanity. But let's also not forget both Breaker and Corbin both had a receipt to collect from Carmelo Hayes, especially dating back to last year's Stand and Deliver, when Carmelo Hayes originally became NXT champion by defeating Braun Breaker. And what I even also find interesting as well is that the fans were cheering for both teams. Think about that, guys. Think about that. Maybe we might end up seeing a face turn for Baron Corbin, which is possible. It's possible, but we will have to see over time. But this was a hell of a match to kick off Vengeance Day. But the closing moments, we saw Carmelo Hayes take the bullet for Trick Williams as he got hit with the spear by Braun Breaker, for Breaker and Corbin to win the Dusty Cup. Now they will be challenging the family, the D'Angelo family, for the NXT Tag Team titles at some point, which could potentially be at Roadblock, or it could happen sometime in the next couple of weeks. Only time will tell. But obviously, Trick and Mello Gang had a hell of a showing in the Dusty Cup tournament, only for them to lose to Corbin and Breaker, which honestly they got nothing to be ashamed of. That was a hell of a match, to be honest. So shout outs to Mello and Trick, but congrats to Breaker and Corbin on an incredible victory to kick off Vengeance Day. Next up, we had a no disqualification match between Dijak and Joe Gacy, and kind of a bizarre no disqualification match. I mean, we saw Joe Gacy literally use duct tape to blindfold Dijak. We saw Dijak go through a table that had literally, no cap, Hot Wheels. Yeah. We've seen a flaming... over the years in WWE, we've seen a flaming table. We've seen thumbtacks on a table. We've seen a table on top of a table. But never... And none of... we've even seen candy corn and cookies on a fucking table. But never Hot Wheels on a table. And toy soldiers, those little like toy soldiers from the movie Toy Story. Yeah, those. We even saw those on that same table as well. However, it was all in vain as Dijak was able to hit Joe Gacy with Feast Your Eyes to pick up the victory, and as Dijak had his hand raised, Joe Gacy was smiling, like, what? What the hell? And what's even more hilarious is that Matt Camp on the kickoff show said it best, and I actually agree with him. Joe Gacy kind of reminds me of a modern day version of Mankind, or I guess Mick Foley, if you will. Yeah. Deranged, mental, and enjoys pain. That's Joe Gacy for you. That is Joe Gacy for you. Not much else to say about that. But speaking of the D'Angelo family, since we were talking about the Dusty Cup, the family went up against OTM with Scripps at ringside, and this was as chaotic as it can get. We even saw Adriana Rizzo just literally hold her own against Jada Parker, and this was a hell of a match. There were even moments where we saw Lucian Price of OTM. We thought he was going to pick up the victory for OTM, but he was that close, and Stax was able to kick out. But in the closing moments, we saw Tony D'Angelo hit, I believe Lucian Price with Forget About It to pick up the victory over OTM, which begs the question, what's next for OTM? Only time will tell. But we do know what's next for Tony D and Stax, and that is Baron Corbin and Braun Breaker. The tag champs better get ready, because Corbin and Breaker, they won't be throwing their punches. That's for damn sure. But now we move into the first of 3 title defenses on the card. This one for the NXT Women's title, as we saw Roxanne Perez challenge Lyra Valkyria in what could have been an instant classic. Had it not been for Lola Vice cashing in her women's breakout tournament contract, therefore making it a triple threat. And Tatum Paxley even attempted to stop Lola Vice, but it was all in vain. And Tatum Paxley even also got involved by pulling Roxanne Perez out of the ring, which allowed Lyra Valkyria to hit Lola Vice with the move with a Michinoku driver that she calls Knight's Wish to retain the NXT Women's title. And there had even also been a couple times where Lola Vice even also came this close from becoming NXT Women's Champion, but it was all in vain. In fact, there have only, aside from Lola Vice, there's only been one other person who had won the women's breakout tournament, and that was Roxanne Perez. The only difference between Vice and Perez is that Perez ended up becoming NXT Women's Champion literally... Actually, no. Let me rephrase that. Let me backtrack that. let me backtrack that. Both women did win their breakout contracts. However, they both failed. What I was referring to was Roxanne becoming the first ever women's Iron Survivor, and then going on to become NXT Women's Champion. Got that mixed up. Now we got that situated. We even also saw backstage of Lola Vice and Roxanne Perez beating the hell out of each other, which could mean that sometime in the next couple of weeks we're going to be seeing Roxanne Perez do battle with Lola Vice in what is going to be a chaotic matchup. So get ready for that match on NXT. It's going to be wild. But congrats to Lyra Valkyria on retaining the NXT Women's title against all odds. Absolutely incredible. Next up, we got the NXT North American title, the second title match between the champion Obafemi and the challenger Dragon Lee. Just like Lola Vice, Obafemi also won his breakout tournament contract. The only difference is that there have only been two winners, Obafemi and Carmelo Hayes. Both Hayes and Femi cashed in to become NXT North American champion. The only difference is that Melo went on to not only become NXT North American champion, he ended up becoming a two-time champion, became the last ever Cruiserweight champion, and then went on to become NXT champion as well. And we thought that he and Trick would become would win the Dusty Cup and then go on to become tag team champions, but it was not meant to be. This, however, was a crazy matchup. Absolute. Not only was it crazy and chaotic, it was dominant. As much respect as I do have for Dragon Lee, obviously Rey Mysterio, the Hall of Famer, calling Dragon Lee the future of Lucha Libre, Obafemi dominated. There's really not a whole lot to say about it, except the fact that Dragon Lee got put through the announce table and then got hit with a choke slam onto the chair. And then got hit with a power bomb for Obafemi to retain the North American title. And now the question is, just like when Braun Strowman was dominant on Raw back in 2016, the question is, how do you stop Obafemi? The answer, I don't think you can. I don't think you can. Is it possible to stop Obafemi? Absolutely. Is it probable? I don't think it is, but as the old saying goes in WWE, nothing is impossible. So only time will tell. But now we move into the main event for the NXT title, and I'm going to tell you guys right now, for those who did not watch Vengeance Day, I'm telling you guys right now, what you guys are about to hear from me is gonna shock you to your very core. It is gonna. I don't know how the hell I can describe it. All I can say is that it was not pretty. It was not for the faint at heart, because right at the start of the match, both Trick Williams and Ilya Dragunov ended up busted open. Trick and had his lip rebusted. And Ilya Dragunov had his nose busted as well. And these two went at it, back and forth, near fall after near fall, near fall after near fall, H bombs. First 48 knees to the face, neck breakers. It was all over the place. And to give you guys a couple of the highlights, Carmelo Hayes got in between both Trick and Dragunov, telling Dragunov, you're the reason why all of this began, talking shit. Dragunov pushed Melo into hitting Trick with a chop block, literally a chop block to the knee. And that's when it all came to an end. And in the closing moments, Dragunov was in one corner, Trick was in another. Kind of like the old Wild West. Who would pull the trigger first? Would it be Trick Williams and his knee strike? And his flash knee? Or would it be Ilya Dragunov and Torpedo Moscow? Turns out it was Ilya Dragunov and Torpedo Moscow for Dragunov to retain the NXT title. Trick Williams has nothing to be ashamed of. He had a hell of a showing. What you guys but what you guys are about to hear is not only gonna break your hearts, but it's gonna blow your mind. Because it broke my heart. Carmelo Hayes lifted up Trick Williams and said, "It's you and me. We are Trick and Melo gang. We got this. We just gotta push forward." Nope. Melo chop blocked Trick Williams, and then grabbed the steel chair and started hitting Trick onto the already injured knee with a chair shot after chair shot after chair shot after chair shot after chair shot, just completely destroying Trick Williams and the fans. Oh. If you guys have been watching NXT over the years, you know damn well once they see a backstab, you know damn well they ain't gonna let that slide. And if you don't believe me, you can ask DIY. They'll both tell you the exact same thing. You could even also ask the Undisputed Era. They will tell you the exact same thing. It was not pretty. It was not pretty. The fans were chanting Melo sucks and fuck you Melo. Dude. That just goes to show you how passionate the NXT fans are about certain superstars. And Trick Williams is definitely one of them. And now, because that Carmelo Hayes is now officially signed to SmackDown, we all know what's gonna happen, and it's not gonna be pretty. I can guarantee you that right now. But I'm pretty sure that Carmelo Hayes might end up explaining his actions on NXT this Tuesday. And I mean, for all we know, it could have been him that attacked Trick Williams back in October. It's possible, but then again, he was also attacked. So maybe he might have faked it. Who knows? Who knows? But all I can tell you is that was the backstab of the century that no one ever saw, which I think that might be the title of this video. Not sure. But all I can say is get ready for tomorrow's episode of WWE's Biggest Issue. I'm going to be doing a full in-depth review, and it ain't going to be pretty, you guys. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more premium live event predictions and results in the future, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and follow me on all my social media. My ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.